Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Field.com. It's the In Wheel Time car talk show. Ahead, we are going to have with us today.
You bet.
The wrong sheet.
I don't know. We can tell you who it is.
Welcome to the award-winning In Wheel Time car talk show. The Lilienthals are back with harrowing stories from the Winter Alcan 5000 and where they placed among the
Spit it out. Where they finished.
Spit it
where
out.
they placed among their competitors. I had it written down right. I just screwed it up.
I thought maybe Mike wrote it
It's probably
for you.
that donut that I'm all
Could have been
wired
that
up
donut.
Got the sugar, sugar.
You'll hear my thoughts on driving the new 2024 Lexus LX600 Luxo Mobile. Pricing and particulars coming your way, and Mr. Mars has this week's events calendar just ahead on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Today's show sponsored by the Houston Mecum Auction, starting next Thursday,
You bet.
April 4th through the 6th at NRG Center. Howdy along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zeke, and I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. And look who's back from their big trip up north. Andy and Mercedes Lilienthal.
Yay.
How y'all doing out there?
Good.
Hello. Great to be here again.
Yes, it's good to have you. Let me ask you this. How did it go to the Alcan 5000?
It went really well. We ended up actually winning our class.
Whoa!
Thank you.
Yeah.
But you still got your coats on, so you
I
must have
know.
got really, really cold up there. Haven't thawed out yet.
We almost were going to wear our hats and our down parkas just because, but you know.
Just cause, yeah.
Okay, so let's, for those that don't know, let's explain to everybody what the Alcan 5000 rally is.
Yeah, it's a 5,000-mile time-speed distance rally, a road rally that starts just outside of Seattle, Washington. And this year's route took us up to Yellowknife in the Northwest Territories, cut over to Whitehorse in the Yukon, took us up to Fairbanks. We drove all the way up to Coldfoot, which is halfway to Prudhoe Bay on the Arctic Ocean, then
That
finished
part was optional.
down to Valdez, Alaska, and then finished in Anchorage in time for the Iditarod.
All in 10 days.
My God.
Wow.
Was there any sleep to be had by anybody?
Yeah, about that much.
So I will say this year we were mid-pack in terms of our number. So you start out on your number. So in other words, each morning, let's say the first car out's at 8 o'clock. So if you're car 1, you're out at 8:01. Well, we were car 15, so we were out at 8:15. So we generally get in a little earlier than when we were car 39, say, in 2020.
Right.
And we might want to talk about what a time speed distance rally is or a TSD rally is, because people might think of stage rally.
Yeah, it's basically it's precision driving. It's accuracy. It's not how fast you get there. It's how accurately you get there. So like golf,
With the
it's you want a score of 0. So if you go through a checkpoint early or late, you're penalized.
So being accuracy in the driving, that means Mercedes did all the driving.
I did all. Yeah, she did. Listen, I was a driver.
I did all the navigating.
Trust me, the navigator has all the work. The driver just steers and accelerates and brakes. So.
On ice and snow, though. So
Yeah.
I mean, he had a challenging enough time as it was.
Yeah, and the joke, of course, is that the navigators always know where we're going, and the drivers all at practice were like, "Where are we going?" I don't know. And the navigators all know.
If this is my map, if you can kind of see, probably not because the screen, you never know. But this is my map. So we ran what is called the SOP class, or the seat of pants class, which basically means we have a stock odometer. We are in this rally organization, we're allowed a GPS odometer. Ours went to the 100th, and that basically was it. And I had a child's calculator. It's like bright lime green. It's huge. So if I'm bouncing around the road, I can just hit it, and I'm not going to be accidentally hitting like a 3 if I wanted to hit a 2 or something like that. And that's how I rolled. I didn't have any fancy computers or rally apps running while I was competing. So that's how we competed. And so when I told Andy left, he really needed to turn left, because if it was in 0.28 miles, we really had to catch it. So it's a lot of things going on at the same time.
What kind of vehicle did you guys drive this in?
We did it in a 2024 Ineos Grenadier.
That's a brand new company and a brand new vehicle. How'd it do?
It did really well. The funny thing is we picked it up with like 87 miles on the odometer. We drove it to Seattle, so it had about 287 miles on the odometer. And everyone was like, "Oh, how do you like it?" I'm like, "I'll let you know in 5,000 miles." So, because we literally just got it. So it took some getting used to. I mean, like any vehicle would. But boy, it really proved its worth on some of the really, really bad roads up there. It's full-time four-wheel drive, so it was great in the snow. We switched over to a Michelin X-Ice snow tire, which did super well. I even took third place in the ice racing competition with it. So, it did really well.
And as far as the trim level, it was the Trial Master trim. So for the Ineos Grenadier, there's 3 different levels or 3 different trim packages. So there's the base level, the Field Master, and then the Trial Master. And the Trial Master is the most ruggedized, most off-road capable version of all of them.
What's the MSRP for that?
Just around 80.
About 80 USD.
Starts at about 80. Ours had some options on it, like the optional rock sliders, the rear ladder, a winch, roof rack, and a light bar, a couple other things. So ours was probably closer to 85, 88,000.
How many days does the rally go?
It goes 10 days of competition. 2 of those are what they call sort of optional days, where you can either go do something. It's called an extreme control that will allow you not to have points added. So one of the days, for instance, you can go to Coldfoot, Alaska, which is a 500-mile round trip
from Fairbanks,
and then to get fuel and see the Arctic Circle, which is, we were probably one of the first Grenadiers, if not the first Grenadier, to get to the Arctic Circle.
One of 2
in the United States. So, but yeah, it's 10 days, so it's intense. You have a competition in the morning, and then up to a 650-mile drive day, and there might be another one at the end of the day.
Wow.
Right, and then the other extreme control was we ended up doing both of them. We had ice racing, as Andy had alluded to, on the ice slaloms on Great Slave Lake of all places, where that was held. And then in the afternoon, we did both optional extreme controls, where one of them was an ice road called Dutta Loop, which is just outside of Yellowknife to get back into Yellowknife, but then also a long haul road to get to the start of another ice road called the Ingram Trail, which that might sound familiar with some folks because the Ingram Trail is where Ice Road Truckers is filmed. Yeah. So that was pretty neat.
Well, we're rolling the pictures that you sent Mike while you're talking, so those are very, very cool pictures.
Yeah.
How many other vehicles were competing in the entire event?
So there were 36 total teams that started the event, and of all 36 teams, every single competitor and team finished this year, which is a huge feat in of itself, especially with it being a winter competition.
That includes the front-wheel drive Mini Cooper that was completely stock. Like that guy was a champ. Here's us in these big four-wheel drives with all this power and stuff, and this guy showed up in a Mini Cooper Clubman, and he finished.
Oh, God.
Hats off to everybody.
Yeah, and what insane asylum did he come from?
A repeat one, because I think he took that Mini or another Mini, the previous one, or was it the summer or winter?
It was the 2020 one.
It was winter, another winter one.
And we were told by the Rally Master that 2020 was one of the worst snow years ever. And actually, the gentleman in the Mini Cooper in 2020 had so much snow packed up in his sort of his transmission tunnel area, if you will, that he ended up getting it was the shift linkage. It was a manual transmission. Wow. It was so packed in there he couldn't get out of certain gears, so he had to bring it into town and defrost it before it keep going. But you get all kinds. I mean, there was another one, a 73 Capri with a 302 swapped in it, rally preps and all this stuff, and they won in 2020, and but they were back again for 2024. And
I think they came in second or third. That was Russ and Garth. They're local to the Pacific Northwest area, and
very experienced.
Yeah, they're very experienced.
Did you get any time in a hotel room?
Oh yes,
yeah.
Each night where we have accommodations at a hotel, motel, Holiday Inn or something.
Holiday Inn. Where were you sleeping?
Yeah.
I was maybe he was dreaming of a Holiday Inn, but
but yeah, some of the hotels are nicer than others. A lot of them have gotten better over the years.
Yes.
So that's good. And again, being mid-pack and having a little bit more power, we were able to get in early enough to get dinner almost every single night, which is fantastic. Not something that happened in 2020. So.
We might want to tell them what we were driving in 2020.
Well, we were driving our Mitsubishi Pajero, which was very slow and didn't do much more than 65 miles an hour. The Ineos had plenty of power, and we could certainly cruise along nicely.
And as he glosses over the fact that it was a Pajero, let me just rewind it for a couple seconds. A Pajero, ours is a 1991 Mitsubishi right-hand drive diesel Pajero, and it was in the Arctic in the winter when we competed in 2020. So that might be able to tell you a little bit about that and how slow it might be. And I think it was 100 horsepower when it was brand new in 91. So
yeah, we lost a drag race to a glacier in it once.
How did you guys get the Grenadier? Did they come to you and say, hey, do this?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So I actually talked to Ineos right when they very first brought the hand-built #1 prototype to, actually it was Houston a couple years ago. They trucked it over, they shipped it over, and I flew down there, met the team, the beginning of the team, and at that time it was just a shell, literally a shell and a steering wheel and some sort of a seat and a bunch of wires in the inside in the roll cage. Since then, I kept in tune with the manufacturer. I went over to France to off-road some of their PTO2 prototypes. Then I flew to Scotland. And again, as a journalist, I was writing a bunch of articles and on podcasts and things during this time. And last year, no, actually in 2023 in Scotland, I drove the European diesel and petrol specs in Scotland off-road and on-road for their global launch. During that time, we approached them and said, hey, you guys have, they tout 1.1 million miles of severe duty testing. So we said, you know what?
How about 10,000? How about 5,000 more?
How about 5,000 more miles in a competitive fashion in the new, I'm sorry, well, not the New World, but I mean, a North American Arctic. And
they said yes.
What they say, and see what they say.
Well, I mean, that doesn't surprise me, and considering y'all's experience and journalism and prowess on the track and off road, I would say, yeah, let's get the thing over there to these guys and let them do their thing. So where is the car now?
It's currently at Ron Tonkin Gran Turismo, which is the Ineos dealer for the Portland metro area, and it's on display on the showroom floor. Last we heard, so.
I hope they didn't wash it.
No. So they actually asked us not to wash it because they're gonna. It's on display. We may do a presentation for some local Ineos owners, soon. And they said don't wash it, don't wash it. So we even told the folks at Alaska Auto Transport, who they usually want the vehicle washed so they can see if there's any imperfections, so they don't get And we told them we don't want to wash it, and they're like that's fine. So yeah, no, it's good and dirty.
Yeah, they made exception for it. I mean, they took over 100 and some photos.
Yeah.
So just because they're very careful with shipping.
Sure.
Yeah, it arrived with all 3 cracks in the windshield and everything. So.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, with what you guys put that thing through, I could certainly understand that. Are you ready to make your personal appearance with the vehicle in the dealership showroom?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We definitely are.
We'll probably share some photos and some video and some stories of the road and just talk about how well it did and how we didn't freeze to death, which is always good.
Yeah.
I want to know if he pulled any shenanigans like, hey, go check that tire, and as he's getting out, you drive off.
Yeah.
Anything like that?
Kind of, but no. Andy just finished. We've got a YouTube channel via our automotive brand called Crankshaft Culture. And via Crankshaft Culture on YouTube, Andy just finished loading the last video short that we have. When we were competing as a navigator, I do have a little bit of time to create some social media content. So I was posting daily reels and daily updates that were pretty extensive on Instagram, and then I fled it out to all the different social channels via Crankshaft Culture. So he posted all the day-by-day happenings video-wise. So if you are interested just to get a visual snapshot of all the videos, check them out on YouTube. They're quite entertaining.
And what do we look up? Crankshaft Culture?
Yes.
Yeah, go to YouTube and just look up Crankshaft culture.
Gotcha. Okay. I want to know, at the end of the event, did y'all have a big party?
Sort of, yeah. We, it was. So we finished in Anchorage, stayed at the Hotel Captain Cook, which is a very nice establishment in Anchorage. It was all valet parking, which nobody really knew, so there was no parking lot. So that was interesting, trying to offload all of our gear.
Tons of gear.
And there was an award ceremony, and it was at a very nice part of the hotel.
Yes.
So it was good to have taken, gotten first place in our class of 17 vehicles, which again was the largest of the classes because there were 36 total teams.
Well, and to see everybody finally in one spot, I think everybody was just so deliriously tired. But it was just fun. It was just fun to hang out and then just kind of go, oh my God, we're finally done.
The camaraderie is so first class at this event. The unfortunate part is there's just not enough time to really hang around with people. So, at the end of the event, you can a little bit and so on. But yeah.
Man, it sounds like tons of fun. So have you got it lined up to do again next year?
We have. We've already signed up. So they're doing it a little bit different every now and then. They kind of need a catch-up year. So it's usually every 2 years, kind of like the Olympics, and it alternates summer and winter. So they're actually going to do a 2025 summer rally and then a 2026 summer rally to catch up, keep the schedule on check. So there's going to be 2 summer rallies, and we already put our name in for 2025. So.
And who we partner with?
Not sure yet.
Stay tuned. We don't know. So
hey, it may be the In-Wheel Time team. You don't know.
Yeah,
there you go.
Mike will help you drive.
Yeah, and I will tell you this, that if we joined you, you would not make it past the 200-mile mark. There's no doubt about that. No. First stop at Buc-ee's and it's over with.
Yeah. We carry too much gear. We'd weigh you down. If you think you got gear, you ought to see us when we move.
Yeah, well, when we do a remote broadcast.
And then you got to stop and pee.
So now what's next for you guys? Outside of the rally stuff, are you actually still employed, Andy?
Mercedes and I have our own business, and we do writing and marketing and PR, that kind of stuff, for a whole host of clients in the off-road and outdoor industries. So
it keeps us busy.
Definitely employed that way. Lots of busy things to do, including this weekend. But what's next for us? We're actually, believe it or not, we're flying to Texas here next week. Going to be out in East Texas for a little while during the eclipse. And then we head up to Wisconsin for a few days for a family visit. And then we're, believe it or not, driving back from Wisconsin to Oregon. And then we've got a few things going on this summer that I think you guys will be probably pretty interested in. But we're sort of sitting on that one right now.
We got to tease them.
I want to know about this Wisconsin connection.
Oh, family.
Who's?
Yeah, we have family in Wisconsin.
Both of you?
Yes.
Where?
Central Wisconsin.
Her mom is in Central Wisconsin, and my mom and uncle are in Western Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
How'll be?
Don's from Wisconsin.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I'm from Wisconsin, too.
Oh, cool. Whereabouts?
I'm right outside of Milwaukee, a little town called Waukesha.
I worked in Waukesha at Kalmbach Publishing for over 5 years, my first job out of college. So.
Well, my dad used to work for a Waukesha Motor Company.
Oh my gosh, yeah. What a small world.
It is, isn't it? Well, so we'll have to catch up sometime.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that we would meet you for your eclipse buzz, but I'll pass on that. I'm actually working that day, but next time you're in Texas, we must get together.
For sure.
Yeah, we're going to be on the eastern side this time.
Yep. Well,
otherwise we would.
Okay. Well, very good. Well, it's great to hear the stories. We love it, and glad y'all made it back safely. Busy couple there, and we love you guys, and stay in touch with us.
Appreciate you having us on. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bet.
Thank you.
As always.
You bet. Crankshaft culture.
Yep. Some fantastic pictures they had.
Andy and Mercedes Lilienthal.
Really cool.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, we're going to take a quick break. In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show is available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In-Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com and podcasts from your favorite podcast provider. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break. Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000 square foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Mecum Auctions, the world's largest collector car auction company, returns to Houston, Texas, April 4th through the 6th at NRG Center, featuring 1,000 muscle cars, Corvettes, trucks, customs, and more. Broadcast on Motor Trend TV and streaming live on Max. From avid collectors to those new to the Mecum experience, we welcome everyone. Register to bid now at mecum.com.
Welcome back to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Time now for this hour's car review. I got to drive the 2023 Lexus LX600. Why 23, Don? Well, they're a little behind in getting the 24 models into the press fleet. So there, not much has changed. So it comes in these trim levels. The LX, which is the base, the Premium, the F Sport Handling, and Luxury. I had the F Sport Handling. What size? Class? Standard SUV, body on frame. Think of a Tundra pickup truck underneath this thing. So obviously it's quite stout. It's very off-roadable in the luxury kind of style.
Yeah.
Seats including the driver, 3 rows, up to 7 seats. Exterior changes from last model year was all new in 2022. Exterior features include a big, boxy, upright, stoic, luxury body-on-frame SUV. Oversized Lexus grille with modern squinty headlights high up on the front fascia. Fixed side steps between the large wheel openings. Rear hatch lighting reminds of Lincoln SUVs. Sorry, Lexus. What I like, the overall conservative, highbrow design. What could use improvement? The busy lower rear valance panel. I had to find something, so I was a little bit taken aback by that. Interior highlights, big, roomy, well laid out interior. Large landscape-style infotainment screen above a well-defined center stack. Changeable instrument cluster. In other words, you can change the layout of that in the instrument cluster. Cargo and trunk room, well, big, with the third row seating down. What I liked about it, the high comfort level. What could use improvement? Some confusing nomenclatures that they use on some of the control buttons. This has a 3.4-liter twin turbocharged V6 engine that turns out 409 horsepower, 479 pound-feet of torque through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Tow rating up to 8,000 pounds, so you can get your Chris Craft behind it and take it to the beach.
Yep.
Manufacturer's miles per gallon, 17 in the city, 17 city, 22 highway for combined of 19. I got 18 miles per gallon over 512 miles. What I liked about it, the power and the towing capacity. What could use improvement? Well, fuel economy. But, when you're buying at this level, does it really matter? The 10-speed does clunk at times, depending on where you are and how you're using the actual accelerator pedal and the brake. I'm a 2-footer, and I'll tell you that it does cause confusion among some of the vehicles that I drive. It weighs in at 4 tons. It's heavy feeling. And cornering feels a little top heavy as well. Ride and handling, but I like the adaptive air ride suspension. What could use improvement? Well, at speed, the rear end gets hiked up like a cat in heat. Yep. The cruise gap distance resets to maximum after each start. That kind of bugged me because I use the cruise control.
Yeah.
Okay, pricing. Base trim price, $102,025. Prices tested, $108,460. The base model price of this vehicle, $90,815. You want to ride, don't you?
Yeah, I was in it. We went for riding.
Did we go for a ride?
Yeah, we did. It was
Where'd
great.
I take you?
Where did we go? What was our event?
It was something good.
Yeah.
Oh, we went to Galveston.
It was
We
so
did.
good, y'all forgot.
Yeah, we went to the...
No, yeah, I remember you
Convention
wrote it
center.
down there because we were putting stuff in it.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was a great vehicle. Overall, I really did like it. Competitors include the Cadillac Escalade, or as I like to call it, the Escalade, $81,895. The Lincoln Navigator, it starts at $82,765. And the Jeep Wagoneer Series 3, which is the top of the line, $81,630.
Wow.
And that is my review of the 2023 Lexus LX 600. Like it or not, I liked it.
It was a good truck. Yeah. I call it a truck because it's big.
Well, it is, and it's a body on frame. And it's funny because we used to be used to that body on frame. You don't find too many of those left anymore.
No, there's not.
It's everything is a crossover, which is basically unibody construction, generally speaking, from a car.
And using the frame of the Tundra, that is stout to begin with.
Correct. All right. If you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. We're back after this quick break. The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Loopy Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Loopy Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Loopy Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Loopy Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Loopy's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Loopy Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Loopy Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.